Hey all, it's Emily Listman with Team Listman, and I'm so excited because March numbers are in, and you know how giddy I get about sharing the market update with you. But also today I want to talk a little bit about what's happening right now in the current market because as most of us know, because of coronavirus, half of March was really affected by that, and the first half wasn't really as affected by that. So, of course, I'm really intrigued to see what happens with the numbers in April. But I'll give you a quick summary, and then we'll go through the slides, and you can see the graphs and all of the data if you're a bit of a nerd like me and really like that stuff. So, just as a little bit of an overview, it is still considered a seller's market. Even as of today, the market is still considered a seller's market because we still have a crazy low shortage of inventory, which is basically a housing shortage. So basically the number of for sale listings was up almost 15% from last month, but of course down from last year, and we've seen this trend of listings being down from previous years. That's why we have an inventory shortage. And the number of sold listings increased by about 13% from last month. So we saw some more listings on the market. We did see some more sales. That was good and positive, and that was even in the last few weeks. We saw that as well. And then pending listing or pending contracts were down about 1.3% from the month before. And that, I would say, is probably where we see the impact of the shelter in place and coronavirus near the end of the month. The months of inventory based on closed sales right now is still only 1.2. So again, if all the homes sold that are on the market right now, they would all be sold out in a little over a month. And then average sold price per square foot was up 1.6% compared to February, 7.3% compared to last year. And average days on market is actually showing a downward trend. And that's really interesting because, as I'll tell you at the end a little bit about the more recent numbers, last week, for example, about 50%, just under 50% of the new sales were on the market for less than 7 days. So we're still seeing things selling really fast if they're priced well. Okay, so moving on here. This is your graph, again, showing the seller's market, and this is your comparison between for sale, sold, and pending. So as you will see, in March, there were there were 1,139 sold homes in Sacramento County, and that was down from last year, of course, but 13% higher than February, so last month, February of 2020. Current inventory, homes for sale, that's going to be your light green on the graph there. Versus last year, the total number of properties available this month was lower, quite a bit lower by 635 units, so that's 31.6%. So again, inventory way lower than last year. However, it was up 14.7% from last month, so we did see a little bit of a surge in homes for sale and inventory from February to March. And keep in mind, folks, remember this is March 2020 data, okay? And then there was a slight decrease in the pending homes just by 1.3% from February. And again, I really think that the impact of shelter in place is seen in that number, and I think we'll see that continue into April as well. So moving on. Okay, average price per foot. This is interesting. So again, some of these numbers might be a little bit skewed, but we did see for the second month in a row, our average price per foot increased quite a bit from $246 to $250. It's a great indication of the direction of property values. Will we see that go down again? Very possibly. I wish I had a crystal ball like every day now, especially, but the March 2020 average price per foot was $250, which was up about 1.6% from the previous month, February. Okay. Come on, you can do it. All right, sorry, it's a little behind here. All right, so this is going to show us the average current days on market and also the sales price versus the original list price. So that green line up at the top, that's going to show you that we're at a 90% price comparison. So what that means is that for every home that's on the market and sells, we're within 1% of the list price once we have the final sales price. So that's really great. That means almost everything is selling for full value. Okay, and then the average days on market, you're seeing a downward trend. So this really corresponds with what I was saying about last week. 50% of the pending sales were on the market less than 7 days. So that 30 days and seeing it jump down from February is really indicative of that trend right now in our market. And that also means, again, we're still noticing that housing shortage because buyers are purchasing homes as soon as they hit the market if they're a good value. Okay, so next we're going to look at, if it'll switch for me here, thank you. Not what I wanted, but that's okay. Months of inventory based on closed sales. So this, I mentioned in the beginning, but this shows, I really like this graph because it shows you from January of last year, of 2019, how this number has gone down. And you'll see, even, really in the past 5 months and still in March of 2020, our inventory is so low. So that's something to keep watching because that really indicates a housing shortage. And then here's the one I wanted, sold versus for sale. Gotta love these live videos. So this is showing you the average price of homes for sale versus the average price of homes that have actually closed, so that have sold. And we always see this. And as you can see, the trend is follows pretty much the same path. There's some little peaks and valleys here and there, but we've seen this trend going on in Sacramento for a very long time. And as you can imagine, those homes that are at that 434,000, that average price of sold homes that are at that 434,000 or lower are the ones that are selling in 7 days, most likely. And those ones that are up at that 569,000 mark, those are maybe going to be on the market a little bit longer, maybe even 60 to 90 days. And that's pretty trendy. So finally, absorption rate. So this tells us how quickly homes are being absorbed on the market. And you'll remember from previous videos, anything above 33% is a seller's market. We've been way above 33% for a very long time, ever since last January, so over a year now. And I mean, even last January, but that was closer. So last month, or February, was at 84%. We're now at 82.9%. So, if we're lucky, we might continue to see that go down a little, but still very healthy. And then this is just the same graph, but based on pending sales. And this one's a little scarier. So based on closed sales, we're at 82%. Based on pending sales, which is what's actually in contract right now, we're at 88%. However, I will tell you, we are seeing an unprecedented number of homes coming back on the market right now because people are getting a little skittish. So that could definitely go down when we get our April numbers a month from now. Okay, and then I think there's one last one. Okay, I guess not. So this is my final slide, but I am going to talk to you real quick about last week's numbers because we did see, and sorry to put the slide up here, we saw last week there were still a lot of active new listings and almost an equal number of pending sales. So I believe it was 364 new listings, but we also saw about 124 homes come back on the market. So that 328 pending sales did include some of those back on market homes. So I suspect in April, we are going to see that inventory creep up a little, which is not a bad thing because we still have buyers that are actively pursuing properties in the market. So we do actually need that additional inventory. Also, we are seeing some price reductions, but most of those price reductions are happening because the homes have been on the market for quite some time. So again, when you see that 50% of the homes are selling within the first 7 days, that's indicative of buyers going after the properties that they feel are the best value. So if you list your home right now, you absolutely, under zero circumstance, should you ever consider pricing your home above market value or above where your realtor suggests, because you're going to be the one sitting there doing a price reduction later when all of those other homes in your neighborhood are selling within 7 days. So be very strategic right now about what you're doing. And then also just want to mention, there's a lot of discussion right now about why real estate is considered essential in our marketplace. I have several clients I'm working with right now that are in life-changing situations that require them to buy and sell. And that's what I'm focusing on right now. So if you don't need to buy or sell, and that's not what you want to do right now, stay home, stay safe, keep your family safe. That is so important. And I 100% support that. If you are in a position where you've had a life change, for example, I have clients who've lost family members and now need to sell property that they can't afford to maintain. I also have clients that are moving for a job and they, are in a position where they have to purchase a home. So if you're in a situation like that, I would love to help you. If you're not in a situation like that, call me in 3 months and I'll help you then. Right now, I really want to focus on helping the people who have a need to buy and sell right now, and make sure that I'm not putting myself and my family at any more risk than I need to. So with that, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot. You can find more videos on my YouTube page, or of course, I post a lot of live stuff on Facebook, so that's really the best way. Follow me at Listman Home Sales, and I am excited to see what the future brings. So we'll see you soon. Forgive me for a minute while I go ahead and stop this video, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.